This is the North Hudson Public Works meeting, Tuesday, July 19th, 2016 at 6 p.m. Call to order. Roll call, please.
Chair Brian Pike.
Here.
Trustee Ted Head.
Here.
Trustee Kirk Nelson.
Here.
All right, item number 2, approve the minutes from May 17, 2016 and June 21, 2016 Public Works meetings.
I'd like to make the motion to approve the minutes from May 17th, 2016 and June 21st, 2016.
Second.
Okay, motion made by Ted, second by Kirk. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Number 3, 709 Riverside Drive North, drainage issue, discussion and possible recommendation. Okay, so Kevin, you want to give us your most recent update?
All right. Well, there's been some concerns raised from Mr. Sweeney since we installed the infiltration basin here. It would have been in April this year, I want to say. He had some pretty good rainfall events that had taken place. I think there was one in June, the weekend of like the third or second weekend in June. And so David had brought some concerns to us, and actually Mark and I went out there a couple weeks ago. We just ran some water into the basin. There was some additional work that did need to take place. It looks like the overflow weir had, settled and washed out some of the material that's underneath there. So we went ahead and had Total Excavating come back in, which they came in this morning. Showed up about 7:30. They were there till about 1 o'clock and redid the overflow weir, which is basically right next to where the fence sits.
Okay.
So that's where we're at.
So, and that was the last thing we said we had to do as it relates to that project?
Correct.
Any discussion from you two?
I think we
Or Mark?
need to word Mr. Sweeney.
Mr. Sweeney, would you like to add anything?
Do you need me to go?
Yes, sir.
State your name, please, and address.
709 Riverside Drive, North Hudson. Just a couple of points. I won't be very long. Kevin outlined what he regarded as a couple of points. When I returned from a short vacation that weekend, we'd had the rainfall. The back of my garden was under 3 inches of mud and slurry. A 30-foot tree lay in my garden that had been washed out on the bank onto my property, which still lays there, 30-foot ash tree. That night there was more rain, and I went out and videoed more water flow through that was coming approximately 1.5 meters below the level of the spill out of the basin, which indicated to me that the water was running straight through the basin, straight down onto my property. So I made contact the very next day, and 2 members of the city came up and looked at the damage that was done. And then, to my surprise, when I came to the meeting to discuss it, the meeting was adjourned after 3 minutes due to lack of participation. That was my opportunity to speak about it, the last meeting. So the points that I have in place, and I'd like these minuted, that I have a tree laying in my backyard that, as a result of this flooding, I've managed to clear up most of the mud and slurry, but I still fear that this catch basin is no match for the catchment area of rain. I have asked Kevin on a couple of occasions if there were any calculations done as to the amount of rain gallonage that this would collect. I haven't been told whether they have or they haven't. But something I'd like to leave with the committee tonight I've done my own research based on some university calculations and very available data. The drainage slope of Lakeview Drive amounts to a catchment area of 11,000 square feet. There are no drains on that road. Initially, the drainage of that water went either side of the road into other people's properties. That's been corrected in the project. So now the total amount of rain water that comes down that road goes into the catchment basin. The result of 1/4 inch of rain on that catchment area is 1,733 gallons. The result of 1 inch of rain is 6,933 gallons. The 30-year average for zip code 54016 is 33.42 inches of rain. This equates to an annual water drainage into that pit of 231,703 gallons of water. I'm very concerned that that water seepage into that area is likely to weaken the bank at the back of my property. The work that was done today looks much more professional than the first time it was done. I won't know whether this works or not. I take it you didn't test it with the
Fire hydrant.
fire hydrant today.
No, we didn't.
You didn't think it was necessary?
Nope.
Okay.
We did not.
So, yeah, I don't know how seriously the city take this, but it has caused damage already on my property. It's caused a lot of stress for myself and my wife. We've lived there nearly 4 years. There has never been any flooding in the 4 years we've lived there until this catchment basin was constructed and the work done on Lakeview Drive. I'd like to leave with you, with the chairman maybe, or who can I leave this with? With the minute keeper?
Sure. What do you got?
It's just my calculations and the pictures of my property after the rainfall.
Okay. Yep.
I don't think any of you would agree that that is acceptable to a private property owner.
Okay. Any questions for Mr. Sweeney?
Nope, I saw the video you sent. I think we need to see, supposed to get more rain tonight. At least what I saw in the news before I came here, and we just, hopefully this has fixed the problem.
I hope so. As far as the damage on my property, is there any comment on that from the city at all? Kevin's seen it, 2 of your staff people have seen it.
I personally would have no comment on that.
Any questions for Mr. Sweeney? No? Any other comments from you two? As far as the damage goes, I will investigate that and see what, if any, responsibility the city has as it relates to the, was it your tree or was it up on our?
No, it was my tree.
That
It
was your tree.
Virtually at the bottom of the slope, right
Okay.
where the water cut its channel. And
All right.
it's taken the root ball right out and the tree's just fallen and taken shrubs with it.
Okay. Because it's believed that the water was always running down that hill, and there's a argument, I hear your argument about, how much has it changed since we did the road. I'll look into that. And you said the garden now is okay for the moment?
Well, the grass is growing through the sand
Yeah.
and slurry that came down. I
Okay.
can't do anything more about it.
Sure.
But, as I said before, the work that was done on the west side of Lakeview Drive to eliminate flooding in other people's residences resulted in all of the water now flowing into that pit,
And there's a disagreement about that.
not according to the residents on that road. Talk to them. They're very
Okay.
happy with the work.
Have
that's
actually
done.
talked to one,
Okay,
so there's some disagreement on that subject,
but they
but,
did ask, they did raise that in the initial part of the planning, and it was attended to in the project. Kevin? I mean, I'm asking.
can you confirm?
There's a berm there, I mean, it's,
There
I'm
was-
not gonna disagree with that.
Okay.
But there
And
was-
that subject has come up before. There was a berm there, although over the years it
Yes,
probably
yes.
faded, and as we came and put it back,
Yeah.
it could be that it's a little higher than it was. There is drainage somewhere on Lakeview, isn't there, down at the end?
No.
Don't we have a collector at the end of that?
Yeah, there is.
Okay.
At the intersection.
Right,
Yeah,
At the
there-
top.
Yeah, at
Yeah.
the top. Yeah, some of them.
just wanted to make
Well-
sure.
I've given you the photographs.
Yep,
The house has been there since 1909. At the rate that's flooding now, it will not be another 100 years.
okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, discussion and possible recommendation. Any recommendations coming out of that? No? Mark?
Everything's-
No?
everything's been-
No.
I believe we wait and see what happens.
Yep, everything's been addressed.
Okay. All right, number 4, installation of streetlights in the Ridges subdivision, discussion and possible recommendation.
Kevin provided you a map or a little picture of the Ridges subdivision.
Okay?
Basically, when phase 1 was done, the contractor, or I should say developer, Derrick Construction, had streetlights put in up to where the orange light you see.
Mm-hmm.
That one there basically has failed. That one has to be rewired, and actually a new light has to be put in. The yellow ones are, Kevin and I went up there, there is residences now, and we're going around, especially on the 10th Street part, going up to where Vale Way, there is now residences all along there, and basically going up to where the park is, Chief Johnson Park. We believe it's time that some streetlights get put in there just for safety of the people. There's quite a few people walking in that area, even at night. So,
So it is a safety issue?
well, but what we're actually saying is, we actually believe this should be part of the developers, just like when the rest of the streetlights were, when the development was put in, these lights should now be put in, just like when they do the future project going around the north side of the park, that should also, those lights be put
Do
in.
we
as
have
part of
like
that
a
project.
standard for this project? Who's running the project? But, what's his name?
It's Derek.
Their construction.
So in the
There-
project, was these lights were planned, right?
You know, they're not part of the original construction plans. I
Oh.
was not able to find anything on those, so,
This was they did this afterwards, after the,
yeah.
was being developed, they had lights put in,
And when you say they,
their construction,
Derek decided to do that?
yes.
Yeah,
Was it,
Just
At our-
because, just basically because everywhere else in the village, we have streetlights at intersections and.
so it wasn't at a request of us, it was Derek doing it?
There was no
Yeah.
formal request by the village, as far as I know.
yeah, I don't remember that either.
How long's this project been going?
2002.
Yep. 14 years. And they, they phased it.
Yeah,
Sure.
it's phased.
They did.
So what
So this
phase
is-
are we on?
This is,
Three,
well,
Isn't
yeah,
it?
on the second right now.
Second
Second.
phase. Then there'll
Second
be
phase. This would
one
be-
more.
He had '08 kind of slowed things down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On-
And there's one more phase left, Mark?
Yeah, well, at least, yeah, there's one additional phase going around the north end of the park.
So there wasn't necessarily, I mean, this was just up to the developer to do, and there wasn't any standards that we asked them to adhere to or anything on how far the spacing between the lights and
I think,
safety issues, nothing?
I think they probably worked with St. Croix Electric,
Yeah, as far as
the power
spacing.
company that supplies, and they came up with some ideas of where actually to space the lights and stuff.
Okay.
So I was hoping to have some costs for you tonight, just so you could see that. Been working with St. Croix Electric, and unfortunately, he couldn't give me a number for it yet. But I think, we should at least approach the derricks
Okay.
about, this should have been installed as part of the constructions, the improvements that were taking
Right.
place. And just,
Have they been amenable to that in the past?
well, they paid for the original ones.
Okay.
And now that we have all the sidewalks basically completed up there, we're at that point where we should look at having these installed, especially with the, amount of homes that are up there now too.
Do you even have a guess of what it costs?
Oh, boy.
And when you say St. Croix Electric,
Five,
Do they
between
turn
5
around
and
and build
10,000.
Correct. And actually, after once the lights are in, and this is something we didn't find out until we actually had the one light that's thing in orange actually failed.
yeah,
That's when we were told by St. Croix Electric that those are our lights, not their lights. Like XL Energy, when you have their lights and everything else,
that
they
was a
maintain them and
surprise.
everything else.
oh my
When we found out that,
It's co-op on the hill.
yeah. So, we actually,
I have XL for my gas and
St. Croix
co-op
Electric.
St. Croix for electric.
that's where you live up there? Did you want them lights?
No, well, the one light,
I'm
the one light came up for repair,
Sure.
right?
I
But-
kind of remember that.
So I guess my comments on this would be, if there's nothing in writing with Derek, right, about improvements on that subdivision, I don't know how we could force, or, I mean, we should approach them, obviously.
Yep.
Maybe as good stewards and making money off.
And you're thinking how many?
3.
There'd be 3 additional. Just the one needs to be repaired,
And the one that needs to be repaired, how much does that cost? About ballpark?
maybe $1,000.
So how much are they when they go in new? Do you know that number?
Not right
I'll have
off.
to get that from there.
It's the labor cost that's gonna,
Yeah, how much wire they gotta extend and all
it's
that.
not necessarily materials as much as it is labor.
Yeah,
Even if Derek puts them in, there's a spending issue for the village, right?
not if we can get them to pay
If we could
for,
initially pay for them.
yeah.
But St. Croix Electric will charge us when we put them up, right?
Well, once it starts going electricity to them, yes.
So there is a charge eventually back to the
Yes.
village.
You will get a charge, yeah, for,
We'll
I
get a
think,
monthly rate.
yeah, each light they charge a flat fee.
Yeah, I think it was like $28 or $30 per
Yeah.
Yeah.
month.
Well, since I'm newer, I mean, when we put in streetlights, how do we normally proceed? Because we're obviously adding to the budget every time we pop one up, right? Does this
Yeah.
have to go by anybody but Public Works?
No, initially, once we get all the cost estimates from else, if you make the recommendation to the board that we have, that the streetlights go in and everything else, we're gonna have a cost, like you said, a monthly rate of charging the lights. That should be, the board should be notified of that. But if we're gonna get Derek's to actually put the lights in and pay for the cost of the installation, then it's less for the village.
Yeah.
Do you think we ever need to involve public safety because of what happened
Yeah,
last year?
public safety, once we get, if we have a request for new lights in an area of an existing street, then
Once
yes,
it's
that goes to
once
public
it's
safety.
established,
Yes,
okay.
yes, that goes to public safety.
Do we have any ordinances around?
In public safety, we ran into this last year, and the streetlights are supposed to be, how many yards apart is it?
Yeah, it's
400 or?
About 400 yard spacing,
Right, and then there are times.
100 yards?
400
400.
yards.
And then there are times where if it's like going around a corner and you can't see well, then public safety is
That's what
concerned.
these are for, though.
Yeah.
These are supposed to be for driving technically. They're not supposed to be.
They're not
for
actually
casual.
supposed to be for, they're not security lights.
No,
they're not
These are-
security lights.
These are for driving,
So,
traffic.
my suggestion would be, before we decide where they go, that we talk with the residents. Because not everybody's gonna want a street light out in front of their house.
Do the residents know about these three?
They know about the
No.
one that's broke,
Yes.
Yeah.
but not about the other,
Yeah, we
what
haven't.
was it, 2? 3 proposed?
Three
Three
proposed.
proposed.
They wouldn't know about the ones in the yellow. The one that's broke was actually brought up last year.
Yes.
What's the address there with those two lots?
I would have to look it up.
That-
Something, something, something,
Is it
10th
1,000 something?
Yeah, it's 1,100 block. I know
This
that.
is
Street. Right, I'm
1,100.
840, so they're gonna be up.
Yeah,
I was just wondering
I
if
want to say it's
that's,
like 1130 something, 1140 something. something
is
like
that the light that's shrouded by a tree on one side?
No,
that one's fairly old.
No, no.
I wanna
Okay,
say.
no,
all
I
right.
know it's
I
not.
was just curious.
Yeah, and the one right
You have
across
to
from
remember,
it.
anything that has anything to do with like even like streetlights and stuff like that, or power lines, we cannot do that trimming. We have
Right.
to actually have
Well, and
somebody from them. do the
That
trimming.
that
We actually
particular-
had XL did some on, in the
I
villages
have
last
some
couple
trees
of
that
weeks.
need trimming.
The light I was
Put a light
talking
up.
about, I think it's 1025, and I forget which street I was on, but there's a tree way back in the yard, but it leans all the way out to the,
But we
road.
usually, once we get a complaint from resident or something like that, then we notify XL, they go in and trim it, then we take care of the bush. That's kind of the way it goes.
So again, I would, if we get to the point where we're gonna put these other three in, need to put some notice or something saying, hey, there's gonna be a light going out.
Yeah,
Give them the opportunity to come in and voice their concern. Not that it changes anything, but,
yeah.
I mean,
But I think of our thing too, we can also go by what the recommendation is by how far the light should be
Yeah.
apart.
yeah.
And then you have to have one at that intersection, because it has to
Yeah,
control
no,
the
I agree,
intersection.
That
right.
one
There's
definitely.
no houses down there yet, so.
Yes, there is. There is.
At the
houses.
intersection?
Yep,
One
there's,
on the other
there's
side.
one right on the corner.
Did they just, I haven't been down there in a while.
Yeah, on the
Yeah,
east
that
side
actually
there
went
is.
up- Actually went up last year.
But it's still for sale.
No, they're actually living in it. There's
Oh.
family in it.
Yeah.
okay, so, any comments or thoughts, Kirk? All right, so next steps from your
Yeah,
guys'
wait to
point
see
of
if they
view?
get there.
Get the costs and then we'll approach Derek's.
Okay,
Yep.
and you'll let us know if it's coming back to the city, and is there any way to find out what per pole our electric costs are when we throw one up?
I'm sure.
We got that in
Sure,
safety.
yeah.
I think it was 28 to 32. It was
Yeah.
somewhere in there.
Right?
Yeah, I think Gloria has that data
Yeah.
back
Okay.
from
Yeah,
where
we
you
had
did.
that in safety.
All right, good, because I just want to make sure that we're aware of those additional costs. So if there's no other discussion or recommendations, or do you want to make a recommendation that we, or should we wait till you get the further information?
I think we just move it to next month
All right,
agenda.
let's move that to
Another
next
month.
month. So that's future agenda item.
Yeah.
Okay. Future. So Melissa, that's a future agenda item. Next month. Number 5, new storm sewer catch basin repair option, discussion only. Is that Mark? Or is that Kevin?
Kevin actually set up the demo.
Oh.
Basically what we did is,
That's this?
yeah.
Yep, that's a
Yep.
repair.
You guys got one of these?
Yeah, I only had 2, so I just threw one on. Basically, we had them come in, they actually, instead of doing a catch basin for us, I actually did a manhole, but it's the same principle and everything else. And basically, bringing this in, they actually put the sealant on, basically, just with, as, you would paint with a paintbrush. And they get it to the thickness that you have C in there.
Whoa.
And basically it bonds in all the cracks. But before they even start on that, they actually sandblast the entire catch basin. They also fix any mortar, damaged blocks, anything else before it comes in, as long as the catch basin ain't too far gone. Meaning a total reconstruct.
So they did this on a manhole?
Yes.
Yeah.
Why didn't you even do it on a catch basin? Save
Like
us some money.
For what they had set up but everything else, they just showed us, because actually this is something you would also do in storm manholes too. Once you get done with your catch basins, go around, actually all manholes, even sanitary sewer manholes, communities are having this done. But it's something we looked at, everything else, and both Kevin and I looked at it, it looked like and reading up on it. The other municipalities that are doing it and everything else, especially over in the cities, there's some that have had this done a couple of years ago, and they're still quite.
Holding up
Is this
for-
the same guys that advertise on TV? Flex Seal?
Focus.
I don't
They,
think
you know,
it's the
they,
exact
they
same
do a
thing.
boat with a screen on it and they
No,
pour this Flex
no,
Seal on
Yeah.
it.
That's
They
the black
spray it
stuff.
on
This is a
gutters?
different.
Well, it is black, but
Different
Flex Seal
material.
is the same name.
Yep.
Yeah, ESS Brothers are
Yes, that's.
the guys
the
that
ones that-
supply it.
Are there any other towns around us that are doing it?
Actually, City of
City of
Hudson,
Hudson.
yep, City of Hudson has looked into it. They've had demonstrations done.
So what's the guarantee? If they do this, do they,
And who's guaranteeing it? Is it SSI or is it ESS?
ESS who installs it.
They would guarantee the work.
They
for
said
how
that-
long?
Probably standard 1 year on the materials.
Actually, they were even saying they've been in and touched up other areas even longer than that, you know, if they needed it, but
It
from
sounds like,
everything I read on it, it's a very strong product.
and they've got quite a few applications out there that have been
Yeah.
in there for a number of years.
Yeah, they actually did they're doing a lot for the city of Minneapolis, city of St. Paul.
So you can buy the package?
Yeah, I mean, they obviously would do everything.
Yeah,
but
they actually do basically for them to come in and do a 2x3 catch basin, which is a standard catch basin we have in the village. We have smaller ones, but to do a 2x3 catch basin, you're looking at $650. That includes any mortar work, block work, everything else that needs to be done with it before they put in the sealant, you know, sandblasting.
You know, compared to what we were looking at, you know, what we've done in the past,
Yep.
where you have to cut the asphalt out,
Yeah.
you know, pull the casting off, put the rings back on, mortar them all in. We were around $3,000-4,000
Yeah, we're
per
looking-
structure.
This is rubber?
But
Yeah,
if
it's like
it's-
a two-part.
It's a state-of-the-art plural component aromatic, which means it should smell good. Urethane with an incredible 800% elongation and tensile strength of 3,200
And
PSI.
if you look at the temperature, it stands goes down from -65 to 250 degrees Fahrenheit.
That'll be that Friday.
Yeah.
So
So then, are you guys making a recommend? I
well, right now we're just putting this out here because there's nothing we can do this year anyway because we don't have the funds in the.
Yeah.
But you have right now, but the one we're reconstructing, we had 67 bad catch basins.
Right,
We have 66 right now that are in need of serious repairs.
should have been
You look at-
65.
You look at $650 each, and that's if we use the $650 for 2x3s. We have some that are only 18-inch by 2s. You're looking at $42,900.
So why don't we buy the kit and have you do it?
For us to do the sandblasting, mortaring, and everything else.
They do that
For
along
us
with
to
it.
do, for us to do all that stuff and everything else,
I
would take
think-
us away from our other jobs.
Well, right, but
Yeah.
I'm kind of curious. Do we know what their actual labor part of that cost is per manhole per,
I s-
or is it
Usually
really going to
it's-
vary based on how much?
It's gonna be vary on
mortar?
how much construction they got, because like they said, though, on some, you can go by, there ain't too much mortar work to do, it's just more sandblasting and putting the sealant in. Other ones, you actually gotta do block work and concrete replacement, casting replacement.
So can we get some kind of a, I guess, a matrix or something that says, all right, we have 10 of these, it would cost us this much to do it our old way, this much to do it the new way, and it will last, it'll make these last this long versus if we actually repaired them, they'd last for how long?
Sure.
And we're gonna need some info, because this is a newfangled deal.
Yep.
Yeah, it's
And I bet you're gonna hear somebody else that has heard the name Flex Seal before.
Oh,
And
yeah.
wonder if it's a
Well,
spray-on can
yeah.
thing. So
Right.
make sure we talk to him about the sandblasting and the mortar.
If there's any left over, I'd like to have it.
I got a couple gutters that would probably.
I got a boat. I got a boat that's got a little leak that.
All right, good, good. So that is also a future agenda item
Yep.
then?
Well, actually, part of what we'll actually do is, we just wanted to kind of bring it to your attention.
Okay,
So the next one, because of trying to figure out budget numbers and everything else, Gloria and I are still, as far as number 6, that's gonna be tabled anyway, because we do not have those numbers for you for
okay,
the budget thing. So actually, for next agenda, 5 and 6 will actually just be one agenda item,
okay.
so.
So 5 and 6, Melissa, one future agenda item. All right, any other discussion on I guess I'll read number 6, 5-year storm sewer catch basin repair plan discussion only.
Yeah. Only thing is on that is I'm just looking at it would be nice with number of catch basins, both Gloria and I said it'd be nice to be able to spread it out over a length of time.
Right.
Just because the storm utility budget is in such
Okay.
poor shape. It's just
Must have been the
a big
previous
deficit.
chairman. Put you in this poor position.
How long were you in this position?
I don't know.
I got a feeling it was more than just you. All right. Any other discussion on the 5-year, number 6, 5-year storm sewer catch basin repair plan? Otherwise, that's a future agenda item.
Correct.
All right. Number 7, 5-year street maintenance plan, seal coating discussion only.
Basically what I did is I just went through our seal coating and everything else, using the Pacer study and the numbers I got from the last 2014 and 2015 seal coating bids. I just basically went through and made a 5-year street maintenance plan. And basically to give you a rough budget number, what we're looking at, for each year for the next 5 years. So, just to kind of, another thing, this will be a budget. Oh, you should have got it in your,
In
you
what?
should have it on your computer.
No,
No,
sent it.
no, it wasn't
No.
uploaded.
there
Wow.
was only the agenda
Only
was,
the agenda was up.
Oh,
yeah.
no, should have been.
Melissa
The
was,
document that Mark sent had the agenda.
Yeah, mine had everything in it. You guys should have got the whole thing, because I emailed it to you.
It's an email. Oh,
Yep, It's in your
gotcha.
email.
That's too
Yeah,
much
because
work right
she was in, training this
Yeah.
week, so I had to
Oh,
send it to you.
gotcha, gotcha, okay.
Yep. So I sent it to your email. That's what she instructed me to do, is just send it to your email account, so that's what I did.
All right, well, you sent me a few.
Yeah, well,
Well, I've been out taking care of the parents. All right, may I have this one, or do you need to make a copy?
I don't have copies with me, but I can go make copies if you want.
No. So this is a future agenda item, and it's just getting us closer to a better understanding before we hit budget.
It's gonna basically be a budget item for you.
Okay, so you guys want a quick peek at it? You haven't seen it yet in your email? So, and this is something that I talked also with Mark and Gloria about when we got to this year. And it looked like it looked like there was a year where we just didn't get very many done or any.
Well,
done.
yeah, there's been a couple years we haven't had the money to do anything.
So I asked him for a 5-year. I wanted to get us back on track. All right, so we're behind a year. Let's scrap that and let's get us back on target. And so this is that effort, right? And Gloria needed it. She needs to know. There's one other question here, though, that I'm aiming at. And that is sometimes there are streets that just need to be redone, as, you know.
I have,
to a certain point, yes.
and I have 3 of them on the bottom there that we will no longer seal coat.
Okay, and that was what I was after, because, why seal coat something that we know it just needs to be completely redone?
Yeah.
And we wanted, that was one of the things Gloria wanted, are there any streets that were just, we're gonna redo the streets, why seal coat them?
So do we do special assessments for overlays?
No, we do not.
Can we?
No, we cannot.
How come we can't?
Well, an overlay?
Yeah,
Yeah.
On overlays, we can.
Yeah.
Yes.
If
But
you
as
re-
far as seal coating, we cannot.
right, not seal coating, but overlays.
Overlays.
Yeah,
yes.
pavement replacement,
Yep,
yes.
Overlays, total reconstruction, that can, yes.
Yeah,
That's 50-50 split.
so 6 St. Croix, Wisconsin, Riverside Drive North would all be assessed,
Yeah.
just like anything.
Yep.
Yeah,
So this is.
so that's something to keep,
Yeah.
I don't know what that cost is here,
That's why you got him.
right? Or
Yeah,
what,
we could put some
or what,
estimates together
what
to
the
tell you.
time, I mean, obviously, we
Put me
did,
on the spot.
we did 2 streets and it took us
Yep.
6 months to get it done, so,
Right.
I don't, it looks like a 4-year plan plus your 5 years on your seal coat.
Right.
We can put some cost estimates together, just so you have an idea
Yeah,
of
we're
what
gonna
those
need
are.
them.
Yeah,
Yep.
because what these should actually do, those should be added to your 5-year, possibly even
So on the bottom,
capital improvement plan.
Yeah.
Right.
on the bottom streets, what's the Pacer ratings on those?
Riverside Drive and everything else that's down there right now, that lower section of Riverside Drive. Right now, I have it sitting at, I want to believe it's a 6.
Of
The thing what
10.
I'm looking at,
Is it I forget what the ratings are, 6 out of 10 or a
1
Yeah.
through 10.
1 through 10?
Yeah,
Right.
lowest one we've had is
Yeah.
3s.
yeah,
So,
and the biggest thing is,
getting there, but-
but the biggest problem with it, we did some seal coating on it, but we also, this year, we did a lot of patching on it. Because when that street was constructed, it's only basically a one-lane street in that narrow section, this is below the hill.
Yeah,
And basically with the amount of traffic that has on it, and plus it did not have, it was never constructed to carry as much traffic as it is. It's a very thin street.
yeah.
So
Yeah,
we're
I've
actually
been-
having a lot of paving problems, so we spent a lot of money on patches down there
Would
this
that
year.
be the
just
first
keeping
one
that
you'd
street.
recommend?
Well, wait a minute. This is the one with the wall?
Yeah, but this is farther down the hill.
I'm just saying, if we're gonna end up doing that wall eventually.
Yeah, but no, this isn't the section Riverside Drive that I'm discussing. This, part I'm discussing is down below the hill.
When you
Right,
guys
so
do that
single
one,
lane.
would you keep it the same, or could you make it wider down there?
I myself would prefer to make it wider, but it's,
Yeah,
I don't know how that's gonna sit
Yeah.
with the residents.
Then they get assessed, right?
Yeah,
They'll be assessed regardless.
they would.
Because it is very, I know, it's
Yeah, we
very
do it.
hard for,
So
emergency
this is a-
vehicles, large dump trucks when they're
Yeah,
building
this is
stuff.
a curious question.
Fire.
It's,
I
you want
just
your
a
meat?
curious
down
Hey,
question.
try snow plowing
Did we
sometime.
widen,
Yeah.
did we widen Lakeview?
Yeah.
Didn't we?
No, Lakeview
No?
was the same as we.
Oh,
put
but
it
we put the hammerhead in so that truck could turn around.
in. Yep.
Yep, on the end.
But it's, yeah,
Riverside
when,
Drive.
When you're snow plowing down there and you meet a car, they better get into a driveway because there's no place for us to go until we get to the end of it.
doubt the residents would be in favor of widening
No.
that
Yeah,
roadway.
I think the right of way's real narrow down.
Yeah,
through
and the
there.
biggest thing is we have a lot of, there is a storm sewer issue there because we have a storm culvert that actually, it lifts up every year.
I would, I mean, I don't know if these are rank ordered.
What?
For your recommendation.
Yeah, it starts with it's all done by the Pacer
So the
map.
first one we would go after would be 6th Street North.
Yes. Well,
What's that one at?
Can you toss the
Pacer.
pace around here next time too? Just throw it up there.
Yeah, but that changes by year.
I know.
What's the 6th Street
Every 2
mark?
years.
The 6th Street North, the 6th Street that is gonna be the state improvement project that's gonna be
Oh,
done, basically from the bridge up to Summer
Yeah,
Street.
yeah, so we wouldn't have to do that, then,
Huh?
would we?
No, but I just put it on here just because
So it's your 2,
it's on
3,
your
and
plan,
4.
because you guys, as part of the reconstruction, you're gonna be
Yeah.
paying the water and sewer part of it.
Yep.
Big cost,
Big cost.
sewer and water.
Okay. Any other thoughts or discussion?
Get some grant money for it.
Yeah, we need more money.
Well, I really like that we're getting a plan together, because that'll help us at budget time too. All right. Number 8, 2016-2017 snow removal contract discussion and possible recommendation.
Basically, because we didn't meet, last month, I sent that recommendation to you to have us, meet with our current snow removal contractor because of my personnel being so new, and basically neither one of them actually had. One had no plowing experience at all last year in the village, one only had very small.
I thought we did this.
No, because we didn't have a meeting last month. So basically, I sent a recommendation to the
Okay.
committee. It's in your, same thing, it's in your emails. Do you guys wanna,
I need the recommendation. Do you guys got it up?
just a second, I can get your copy. Here's my copy.
Okay. The motion is to request that North Hudson Public Works Committee negotiate a new one-year snow ice removal contract with Zappa Brothers, Inc. at the same price as last year.
Well, that's what you call negotiation.
Gary, you didn't hear that. Okay. So you just want to negotiate a new one-year snow ice
I want
contract?
Public Works Committee to negotiate.
And you're saying it's with Zappa Brothers, Inc. in
That's
particular?
who the current snow removal contractor is.
You guys might want to take a quick peek at why.
So you made a motion, I'll second the motion.
Okay.
All in favor?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, now we can talk about it.
Okay, Brian made the motion on number 8, Melissa, and Ted seconded that.
Melissa.
She gets the minutes.
Oh. I was calling you Melissa.
Like who?
She's been having a little chat with me about,
So, question mark, we didn't spend all, I thought we were like $7,000 under from last year.
Actually, from what I'm seeing coming through and everything else, I'm afraid we're gonna be a little over because of what we're paying for storage cost on the salt and what we're gonna be charged for the storage costs on all the salt we have sitting around, so.
City Hudson.
I thought they were our friends.
Mm-hmm.
Second question, the liquid dispensing system. I don't know if it's beet juice or whatever we're using, but is that installed, ready to go?
Yeah, we have the pallet, we have it's operational, everything else, we just have to stick it in the back of the truck.
Is that gonna happen?
Yes,
I thought we tested that last year.
we did.
Okay, and it went all right?
Yeah, we just didn't use it a lot because we were having such a shortage of personnel
Yes.
over the winter time.
Okay, but so we expect that will continue to
Yeah.
help us out?
Hence yeah, that's the reason why I really, I was asked by other people about how, how effective, how much it's gonna reduce our salt without having a full year of actually using it. It's pretty hard for me to answer that question,
Okay. So by this time next year, we'll have a better
Hopefully.
idea. Okay. Any other comments? All in favor? Say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay.
And we just have to
What
figure
did
out.
what did you guys just vote on?
I don't know.
I made a recommendation that that Public Works Committee negotiate a new one-year snow and ice removal contract with Zappa Brothers, Inc.
Okay, I thought you guys had a vote on that once.
We did.
Did we?
We voted twice.
Well, I got it
That's
twice.
okay.
Okay.
We're still in agreements from 5 minutes ago, so this is a good thing.
Just wanna make sure.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay, number 9, Public Works meeting change of start time request, discussion and possible recommendation. This is a request coming from me to move the start time from 6 PM to 5:30 PM. And any discussion?
I
I-
can generally make it.
Okay,
What are you missing, your soaps?
nope.
It's fine.
Any
No, I don't.
I like it better because then I'll have the same time for my two.
issue with our, no,
No, I'm fine with 5:37.
gentlemen?
Nope, that's
No
fine with
problem.
me.
The only thing is you will have to make a recommendation for it because it, just like,
Yeah, it still has to go to the board.
yep, because Park Board just changed their date of their meetings and that also is gonna be on the next board agenda.
So I will make a motion to have the Public Works meeting change their start time to 5:30 PM Central Standard Time.
I will second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
We'll vote twice on it.
All in favor one more time?
Ted made the motion, Melissa. Kirk seconded. All right, engineers report.
I have nothing additional for this month.
Really? That's amazing.
Pretty quiet.
We must not be keeping him busy enough, Mark.
Totally agree.
You're the ones that pay them.
All right, director's report.
The only thing I have is that, the hot patching of, the streets has been completed. Crack filling has been completed on streets that are gonna be seal coated. They'll be back to finish the rest of the streets here probably within the next, within the month.
Is our timing good this year? on
No,
getting
right
this?
now, it's looking good. The only thing with seal coating, I haven't got a firm date when they're gonna be in yet to seal coat our streets. This is a new company that's, they're out of Minnesota that's doing it this year instead of the guys we normally work with, so haven't
So
had a lot of contact with them.
when do you expect to get a date?
I'm hoping to have it by the time I get back from vacation, which will be middle of next week.
Okay, all right.
Keep going.
And any other future agenda items than what we've already tossed at Melissa? Gentlemen,
I don't think so. When do you go into financial plan? You guys got your dates set yet?
I haven't heard that yet.
I think a future agenda item we better add is budget, because I'm pretty sure we're gonna have to start discussing it.
Yep.
Okay, budget, Melissa, for a future agenda item? Anything else?
You want a 5-year capital improvement plan put on here, so we can start
Yes.
getting numbers from Kevin?
Yep.
Yep.
Start working on that.
Any others?
I will motion to adjourn.
Yes, please.
Second? There's a motion to adjourn. Second, we're adjourned.
All in favor?
All in favor? We don't have to do it all.
Can we vote one more time?
Yeah.
Aye, aye.
Going on that
Aye, aye,
twice.
Captain.